All right, well, I'm very excited about this because this is kind of, I suppose, one of my first real projects of getting some old radio device and having to fix it. Hopefully this is a simple fix because I can't do all those little circuitry things. I'm not into or understanding all that stuff, but I understand kind of basic things. When I was a kid, I used to take things apart, so I understand speakers and wires and two wires and all that kind of stuff. So I got this Heathkit electronic keyer, very clean, and it seems to work fine. I plug in an external headphone or speaker and that works. The keying works, the lights work, power cable, everything works. Nothing's coming out of the internal speaker. So what I'm hoping is that it's just this internal speaker, and I got another one that I'm just going to replace it with and hope that it works. So this shouldn't be too difficult. Got to remove 3 screws or at least loosen them. Desolder these 2 wires, resolder the wires, slide the speaker, and then we should be good to go. So with that, let's get started. I don't need my old man spectacles on just yet, but we do need to remove, already loosened those. This is the weighted side on the bottom. It's got a lead weight on it. And there's 2 screws on the side, which are accessible. If I take this off, and then the top 2 here are accessible. So I think I'm going to have to take that one off. It's on there pretty tight. Let's go ahead and remove this. I got my bigger screwdriver. I'm used to using this little tool set. A nice little driver set, but I wish the grip was a little bit bigger. I'm just going to remove one because I think, yeah, I can just slide that over like that. And this is what's cool about this set is we just pop that flat head off and we put a Phillips on there. And I'm just going to loosen it. Already loose. Already loose. Okay, maybe they're not really that tight. And I'm hoping that that should, whoop, yeah, that'll allow that to slide right out. Okay, now, what I'm going to need to do, let's slide this out if we can. It's holding it up. What's holding it up? Oh, you know what? One of them is going to have to come off, I think. Do this top one. Because the, whoop, oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Now it should come out. There we go. Okay. So looking at it, I mean, nothing looks torn or anything, so speakers are pretty basic, so it makes me wonder if this is going to be the problem. Same wires are connected to the rear headset, which works. Now, those of you who know circuitry better than me may know exactly what's wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and take the solder, take these wires off, and we're going to put the new speaker on. We're going to see if it works. I'm someone who just looks at it like, well, 2 wires, and where those 2 wires go to this other one seems to work. Because you can see them here, they're attached, and that one goes to the headset. This one goes to the speaker. This one goes to there, and the other one goes, that's attached to that, goes to the headset as well. So we'll see. I mean, I think inside here, I thought it was just a magnet, maybe some coiled wires, but let's go ahead and take this off. See if I can do this without burning myself. Last time I set the iron down and then grabbed the wrong end because I wasn't looking what I was doing. So always look what you're doing. It should come off pretty easy. Our trusty snippers, and now I'm going to put my old man spectacles on. As much of that wire as I can. Oh, there we go. That one bent, actually. I might get that one out. In. Right there. There we go. All right. Now let's get this soldering pin pinned. I do love this USB soldering pin. I mean, as most of you know, and you probably can notice here, my hands shake. And so usually when I solder, I have to stabilize with one hand. And when I'm using the bigger one and the thicker tip, it's hard to really do small little things, like those tiny little LEDs or stuff like that. It's really difficult for me. With this USB pin being smaller, and then of course I've got the real pinpoint tip on there, I can get in and solder stuff a lot easier. This isn't as bad because it's fairly large. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook that in just like they had it. And see if I can bend it without snapping, without in it. All right, so that's good. And get in there. Come on. Come up. Nice. Sure it's not cold soldered. Okay, it looks good. Didn't use any flux on that one, but I think we're going to be okay. This one, I'm going to try to hook it in there as well. Bend this a little bit. And bend this a little bit. Should have my needle nose nut. I think I can make it work. Get in there. All right. And then bend that a little bit if it will. Maybe not. I'm just going to leave it like that. And put, I'm going to do a little flux on this. Should be enough. Clean that up. You know what? Yeah, I better keep my and let's put a little on there. And let's heat this up. That's why I love flux. How quick that smoothly just transitioned the heat onto all surfaces. And we should be good to go. I'm going to unplug that in the hopes that I won't burn myself again. And then we're just going to slide this in there. The wires are a bit stiff. I mean, they are old. But this 2-inch speaker should fit nicely, like it does. And now I could go ahead and try it before I screw this all down. But I want to get at least one in there. Let me tighten one down. All right. Wires are secure. Nothing's touching anything that it shouldn't be touching. Keys are set. Now let's plug it in. See if that was the only problem. Let's hope. Okay, that's not good. Oh, look at that. We got a speaker working. Whoops. There we go. We got it working, and you got volume right here. Let's turn it up. Let's see max volume. There we go. We'll put it all back together. So this one, there were 3 others of these at the Cowtown Hamfest. I paid, they wanted 80 for 2 different tables, and then I saw this one for 40. and I just asked, does it work? He said yes. So it does work. And maybe he didn't know this speaker didn't work. Maybe he tried it just through the external, but it works now. And, oh, does it work? What did I... Brittle wires, look at that. I moved it too much, so I'm going to solder to that, and we're going to be back in business. So we got it working. I now have a Heathkit device on my desk, which I've always wanted. And this is a good size for me. I didn't want anything bulky. So this is a nice little representation of Heathkits on my desk, and I have it working, but the brittle wire, of course, snapped off when I moved that. So I'm going to solder that back on, put it together. We're good to go. What a fun little easy project, 40 bucks instead of 80 that everyone else is wanting. And this is going to help me work on my CW this year. That's it, 73. All right, since the noise gate messed up my CW keytones when I made the video, got it all put together. And now let's give it a test without the noise gate on my audio mixer. There we go. My Heathkit electronic keyer is fully operational.